everybody, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and we have with us today Jason and Elijah, and we have Jason's feeding baby Enzo.
Enzo.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
It's going
Yeah,
good, man.
yeah. How was your Thanksgiving? How was your week?
I did the two different places we had to go.
Uh-huh.
We went to like Liz's sisters, and then we went to my sisters.
Okay,
So it's
that's cool.
it's a
Jumping around.
jump around holiday, and it was
Fair
like
enough.
Enzo's first time going on like all the way to Garden Grove.
A road trip.
longest
drive.
journey so
Uh-huh.
far.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. What about
We
yourself,
went to
Elijah?
we also went to the. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right. No, no,
To the,
yeah.
LA Zoo.
Oh,
And
cool.
They do these like Christmas lights
Oh,
stuff
nice.
like it like opens at 6,
Right.
so it's like nighttime when all the animals are asleep, and they have all
Oh,
these
wow.
like light setups. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
We have certain
Like
animals
the-
out there at night, right? Like certain more
Uh,
like nocturnal animals that they push out
Yeah,
there.
it's just that they close off a lot of the sections where
Right.
the animals are, and they kind of just have this walk-through area that's
Gotcha.
Like
yeah. I
show.
haven't seen. I saw fish, but that was even blocked off because you could like see it from the walkway.
Right.
But that's about it.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing anything.
I've never been
else.
to the LA Zoo before, so
It's a good zoo.
yeah.
We're thinking
that's
of getting memberships, so when Enzo's a little older, we could take him there regularly.
That's cool. That's cool. What about yourself, Elijah? What's been going on? How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was nothing too big. I went to a
Yeah.
friend's house.
Mhm.
That's about it.
Yeah.
It was a pretty easy week.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah. I ended up by going to watch Glass Onion on the big screen, which is the Knives Out 2, Ryan Reynolds. Sorry, Ryan Reynolds. I mean Ryan Johnson's film. Wow, spat that one out. It was good.
Yeah.
It was like a really solid movie. It just had a totally different vibe from the first one, and the only real kind of similarity was
Daniel
so
Craig.
Daniel Craig, yeah,
Only continuity.
returning as that same character. But that was fun. It was definitely worth
It's
checking out.
it's the Glass Onion, the building they're in.
It is the building that they're in. Yes, there's a whole
Yeah.
backstory to the building and the characters specifically, and it kind of unfolds
Yeah.
and then halfway through it, there's like a second story that happens that you're like, oh, okay, it's interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Did they
it
hit
was-
any same marks that the first one did? Like
I
as
think
far
it-
as pacing and like
Uh,
character?
I think it actually surpassed the first one in the pacing. I mean, I enjoyed the first one a lot, but the
It's
second
just like
one
another
just,
whodunit.
it was another whodunit, but it was like, yeah, you're just sitting there just going, okay. It was more intriguing about how they unveil whodunit rather than just,
I think that is the best you can do with a whodunit.
yeah.
Right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's just the way you do it.
The way you do
you
it is-
reveal
yeah,
whodunit.
Yeah, yeah. So it was fun, definitely worth checking out. That's for sure.
That's cool.
nice.
But apart from that, yeah, I just had a quiet one at home. Didn't want to do much. Just rest up a bit. I've been working a bit recently, so it's like, yeah, I needed a day just to relax and stuff.
I like that. The whole murder mystery has always kind of been a genre in cinema throughout the ages. It's kind of nice to.
The
Just
menu
one.
is supposed to be really good. I've been told.
Oh yeah. I want to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah, I've been hearing from friends who have seen it that it's really good. So it's like, okay,
Max was talking about it. Did he see it, or
I'm not too sure.
That's a
remember he brought it up last
Yeah.
Wednesday?
Yeah, well, we don't have Max with us today because he's flying back from Minnesota. Was it?
Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut, that's the one, yes. So he's on his way back to LA again. But yeah, cool. And there hasn't been a huge amount of views, but we did have several things happen this week. We had Andor finish season 1, which was excellent season. We had the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special drop, which we, ended up by watching and doing a reaction to.
Yeah, we missed you on that one,
Yeah.
Elijah. Were you
yeah.
sleeping?
Yeah,
Tried to
some-
stay up. I fell asleep, and then I think
Fair
I
enough.
saw I think I woke up just when he's like, "Are you awake?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, really?
I'm sleeping.
That's cool. That's
I
fun.
didn't have enough energy to text him back and say I'm sleeping or
Okay.
pick it up and watch it. But I did enjoy it. I watched it the next
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah, well, we'll break it down a little bit in a few minutes and kind of get everyone's opinion and stuff. And then this coming week we've got Willow coming out. There really has not been a lot of news this week. It's been pretty quiet, and of course there's continual drops of images from Indiana Jones for the magazine that is coming out for Empire magazine.
I'm trying to avoid the indie
Spoilers.
spoilers
Yeah.
as much as possible. Like,
Fair
you
enough.
know, I know it's Indiana Jones. He's gonna
Yeah.
be wearing a fedora.
Yeah.
Probably be wearing a tie at some
Is
point.
that is he
you know?
is he wearing the same outfit that he's always been wearing, or does he have like new versions of it? Is he
No,
update
it's
his jacket,
no,
or
it's
all
the
same?
It's more or less the same. I mean,
That's like his go-to like pack.
Yeah.
He's got his backpack. He's got his
Yeah,
Indiana Jones
that's it.
outfit.
So he only puts
Yeah,
it on
roll
for
one.
adventures.
He puts it on for adventures.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
like he's grading. You know,
Yeah.
That is
grading
hand.
papers.
He has a wedding ring
yeah. He gets married in Indiana Jones 4
to Carrie Allen.
Marianne Ravenwood.
She was
Nice.
underage
Um,
when they first got together.
Oh, okay.
It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
different time,
It
right?
was a different time, right? But yeah, the close-up of the main poster shows that he's still got the wedding ring on. So it's like there's been
feel
no
like-
mention of Karen. Karen.
Allen.
Karen Allen.
I feel
at
like
all.
they went with her because she's aged the best.
Not just she aged the
Older
best, but
actresses.
she seemed like the natural fit for Indiana Jones. She always did.
Yeah,
I always
yeah,
loved
I
her in
agree.
Raiders.
Oh, because she
Raiders
was
and
weird.
stuff.
She was the first.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
introduced her by arm wrestling Mongolians,
Yeah.
out
Which was
drinking
great.
them.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Which
she's the only woman we see among the series who
Mhm.
could keep up with Indy.
Mhm.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
supposed to be like the daughter of an explorer friend
Yeah.
of his or whatever. so
Exactly.
she
Yeah.
like
yeah.
she knows all that old
She's
world.
got a
stuff.
rapport
She
with
grew up
him.
with all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Like-
it's like if they get married, it's like you marrying your dad's friend. It's like-
exactly.
Fair enough. But either way, I'm hyped for it. I've been looking. This magazine's supposed to have dropped already in the stores, and I haven't seen it. So I don't know whether it's just been delayed because of the Thanksgiving break or what.
Well, I
but,
think it's just because we get things like a week late. If it's a European magazine, like the newsstands, like
Oh, gotcha.
because I get them
Magazine,
sometimes
is it?
for music magazines that I have to
Gotcha.
wait like 2 weeks for like the European
Is
magazine to come in.
right? Is Empire? I thought Empire was
that's-
American.
It's from the UK.
Oh, really? Okay, that
Yeah,
would explain
British.
it. Of course, they'd get the first
Yeah.
photo shoot because
British magazine.
that's where they shot Indy 5. So
Yeah. So you'll probably see it on like the
Stands in a week.
the newsstands like
gotcha.
like Laurel or Laurel Canyon or whatever, like in a week or a couple days.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking forward to looking through it and stuff. But
yeah, gotta go to like City Light Books or something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
we've got images here. Here he is.
Even looking like Jack
Yeah, I
Ryan.
know. He looks like.
Like
Huh?
he's chasing after like JFK's.
I know. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be 1969, I believe. So it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
post.
yeah. But it's kind of like,
assassination.
okay, they take Indiana Jones out of the old, the old teacher's kind of uniform and
Right.
put him more up to date in the 60s. So.
He looks like Secret Service.
He does there, yeah. I don't know. Maybe this is a story to tell.
What's
And
the
then,
president? What's this like Nixon era?
Yeah, it should
What?
be Nixon, yeah, 1969, yeah. But then we got an image there that dropped this week of Phoebe Waller. What's her name?
Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge. That's it. Yes, Phoebe
Fleabag
Waller-Bridge.
herself.
Fleabag, yeah. So yeah, I don't know too much about her character specifically, so but I am looking forward to finding
So
out.
weird because she is the mind of the Millennium Falcon.
Yes, yeah, which is kind of funny that they actually I never even thought about that. The fact that it ties into Indiana Jones now, the actress and everything. Maybe there's something there. Maybe not. But yeah,
They connected they connected Indiana Jones to Star Wars in a comic book.
I believe so. Yes, yeah.
they
Apparently,
find, like,
Chewbacca dies on Earth or something
Well,
like that.
well,
I don't know.
they're ancient. They find the Millennium Falcon crashed on Earth.
And then yeah,
it's
that's
like
it.
And they got
archaeological
And-
R2D2 and C2 and hieroglyphic.
Yeah, on Raiders.
Yeah.
But then it's also Indiana Jones that finds the Millennium Falcon apparently
Yeah,
in
yeah.
1940 something or other.
Those are like the
No,
quiet
definitely.
times of like the Star Wars universe when there was really
Yeah,
nothing coming
I think
out.
that was all the legend stuff and everything. Yeah.
Hmm.
But yeah, along with that, I think we might have talked about this the week before last, but just staying on the Indiana Jones front for a second. James Mangold, the director, did tweet out that there is probably quite possibly a trailer coming out before the end of the month, which becomes basically the end of the month, referring to December. Or within less than a month, I think he said. So, my guess is it's going to be closer towards maybe when they release a certain Avatar movie, but I guess we'll find out. Hopefully, it'll be that week. We'll see trailers drop
That sounds
online.
like when they would be released.
Yeah,
If it's going to
yeah.
come out.
Yeah, that's my guess. But either way, it's yeah, I'm excited. I'm hyped to see a first trailer for Indiana Jones. I'm hopefully we'll get the chance to do a reaction
Yeah,
to that
Brent's
trailer.
been talking about this Indiana Jones for years, guys.
I'm
You don't even
so
know.
hyped. I'm so hyped. And wait, you still haven't seen Indiana Jones 4, right, Jason?
No.
Was it? We gotta do a reaction video to that
Where
sometime.
are we gonna stream that? It's not.
Oh, good
None of them
point.
are streamable anywhere.
Give it time. Give it time. Give it time. Give it time. They'll probably drop within the next year.
Are
Like
they
I've
like
seen-
blacklisted?
We
Is
hope.
it like, do they take it out of like?
No, it's just none of the Indiana Jones are streaming anywhere right
Yeah,
now.
I don't know who owns the rights, whether it's
Huh.
Paramount Plus or whether Disney now own the rights to the original films, and who gets to air them and
Yeah,
who gets to play them.
who owns this? Who
Yeah.
owns Indiana Jones?
Because
Right now?
Crystal Skull, that is
Lucas-
more like it's like a.
Well, it was still
Yeah, I
Paramount.
know. I've heard.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
really bad.
it's not really bad. It's not.
It's really bad. The story's not there. The characters aren't there. None of it makes sense. It's like
I see. We
I
it's
know
a-
South Park did a whole thing on it.
very
Yeah.
cartoony.
This is
Oh, Liz, yeah.
a conversation that Jason needs to be included in when he sees it.
Was that?
This is the conversation that Jason needs to be included into and his opinion when he gets
Well,
the
if we
chance
watch,
to see
it's
it.
going to be like a Mystery 3000. Mystery.
Oh, yeah.
Mystery 3000.
Well,
if we do watch it, because
It's been a while, but yeah,
I'm probably not gonna like it.
it's
Oh.
not good. I can't say that it's good. There's so many bad parts of it.
this stuff that didn't work as well as
There's
others.
lots of stuff that didn't work. There's like 2 good scenes in that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, I'm
Starts off bad and it gets
I'm
worse and
critical
worse.
of Temple of Doom, so like I'm
Fair enough.
probably gonna hate it.
well,
I'd
fair
actually
enough.
like to see Jason's hatred for it. That would be alright.
Well, either way, we'll get to do that when we find a streaming service that drops it. I'm hoping Disney Plus will drop it within the next 6 months, because I think that'll be kind of a fun thing. It's a fun thing to kind of do.
A
The
little
tiny,
baby hand,
tiny
like,
little
a little
baby
hand
hand.
picking up.
power to the Jason. That's funny.
He's pumped up from Andor.
Yeah, yeah. Well, should we jump into Andor then?
No. What'd you have next?
Oh, I don't know. What do we got next?
I was. Did you ever get to see the Weird Al?
Not yet.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet either.
I haven't seen it yet.
I thought it was really fun.
Yeah.
It's on there. It's streaming. It's free. It's great. I've watched
Yeah.
it twice.
Where did you see it? Oh, you'd
Yeah.
have to like stream it off the computer, right? Off of
No,
like the Roku
online,
app.
yeah, but on Roku. But you just go straight to Roku. and
You have to
it's
send us the
main-
link. Yeah.
It's on
No,
the main page. It's just Roku, and it's like watch.
Yeah.
I'm never
Yeah,
going to
I
remember
use
what Roku is
I
in
use
a
a
day's
smart.
time.
I use a smart TV, and
Right.
we watch whatever. Roku's not on this smart TV, so I'm gonna have to like
Right.
cast it from my laptop to
Gotcha.
watch it. But
Yeah. I'll just forget the name after this podcast, so you have to send me a link. But anyway,
Okay.
yeah. I don't even. Yeah.
I mean, you can just
What,
Google it
Roku?
too. It's like I didn't just send you a link for that. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I
just
can't,
Google
I
it.
can't even. I can't even
Very,
spell
very
Roku. But whatever.
it's not something to brag about, Brent.
Fair enough. Whatever. Well, I can't. Can you spell it?
Yeah,
Okay, spell it.
ROKU.
Okay, I couldn't spell that. I have no idea. Anyway,
First time I heard about Roku, I was working with George Takei.
oh yeah,
He was doing this YouTube channel where he reviewed electronics, and this
Right.
was like the beginning of the whole cast technology. You know how you
Right.
could like Chromecast
Mm.
and Amazon Fire Stick. Roku was first on the scene
right.
as being that device that you plug in via HDMI and
Oh,
you
right.
Oh, okay.
Bluetooth off of your device. So they kind of paved the way. Roku is just it's still that kind of cast technology. If you go to that halal place across from EcoSets, they have it on their TVs. It's the menu.
Okay, all right.
It's just like that landscape. Just,
I gotcha.
The rotating landscape
that's
Okay.
movie
Okay.
references or whatever.
And
All
so
right.
like they were first on the scene. So yeah, they hold a place in like the whole casting tech.
That's
But
funny.
I went straight to Google Chrome cast. And so Roku has always kind of been out. And I think it got kind of disenfranchised from all the smart TVs too, because they either choose Prime or Google Chromecast.
Right.
So yeah.
Hey there, Anchorman. How's it going?
But there was a funny tweet that Weird Al put out on like people have like confused on how to watch it.
Oh, really?
he kind of tongue in cheek or like low key suggested a VPN or Pirate Bay on his tweet. Did you see that?
That's funny.
Elijah?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I saw that.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's funny. I didn't see that.
So
That
if
is
you're in
so funny.
Australia and you want to watch the Weird Al thing, you're gonna have to use a VPN.
Yeah, that's very tough to get in
Yeah,
Australia.
yeah.
Apparently, they make it very difficult to do all that.
Well, yeah, that's
But-
what VPN's for.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Brent doesn't know what a VPN is.
No, I don't specifically. I've heard of them, but I also know that it's very hard to get that sort of stuff in Australia too. So
Yeah, that's what the
It's a-
VPN's for.
yeah.
The VPN's easy to get.
right.
It's just
Fair
a lot of stuff. Yeah, they got the merger of like Hulu and
Right.
Disney Plus. So like some stuff's on Hulu. It's like that we would usually find on Disney Plus.
The baby's name. What is the baby's name?
It's Enzo.
Enzo, there, Anchorman. Baby Enzo.
Maybe
Yeah.
Enzo.
Yep, it's a boy. Yeah. So yeah, this coming week, we've got Willow dropping on Wednesday, which again I keep expressing I'm hyped for.
Yeah.
Jason's not as hyped for. Elijah, what's your opinion on Willow? You're excited for it? You're not excited? You're in between?
I'm excited. Like,
I'd be just as excited if they would do like the never-ending story thing.
Fair enough.
yeah.
My level
And
of
to be,
excitement
like, I'm excited to see it.
Right.
I could say I'm maybe not excited to watch it exactly at midnight every night.
Well, we'll definitely do the first one.
I would prefer doing those ones. It seems like an earlier morning watch to me. I would like to watch that in the morning when I'm
Right.
waking up with coffee and just kind of sit there and watch it versus like being tired and like
Yeah.
at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I know you want to do your editing thing, but like,
on top
Oh,
of
it's-
that,
I would like to. I would
it's
like
all
to watch
about-
it, but sometimes I get
Yeah.
late at night. It's like it's it's a little harder to drag on and.
well, I don't know anyone else who's going to be racing to post the reaction to Willow, so I don't think you're up against much, Brent.
No, I'd like to at least watch the
Thanks,
pilot.
something
I'd at least like to watch the pilot on.
I know. I just like to be a little
But-
bit more comfortable if
Oh,
I'm
no,
gonna
that's
like,
fine.
if
Yeah.
I'm gonna like commit to watching
yeah.
all of those. I don't mind.
Just
I'm
pop
interested.
just pop
No,
a
that's fine.
B12 like
Yeah.
around 10 o'clock or something.
But
Well,
I
yeah,
just don't want to make a bunch
That
of late nights.
depends on whether all of us are working or not.
I know,
That's
I
the
know.
big thing. So if
I'm
we're
on the
working, then
night
we won't be able to watch it till the evening, so early evening kind of thing.
I'm on
so-
the night shift, so I'm game.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, either way, it's gonna be
Anyways,
fun.
that's my 2 cents.
Hey, Chris.
I'm excited. I guess I should watch Willow one more time, but
I know.
Seems
Yeah,
like,
well,
Do that.
It
yeah,
seems like this will be an improvement. Like even if I go back and watch it, I'm like, okay,
Right.
that's the world.
Yeah.
Now they can expand on it. That way more technology, way
Yeah.
more available to them, and
Maybe-
it'll probably be better, much better than
Yeah.
the original Willow.
Do you want to do that tonight? Maybe we'll sit and watch it tonight.
Yeah.
I could. I
What is,
wouldn't mind doing that.
What is special about Willow, Brent?
What is special about Willow? I don't know. I just think it just has a beautiful heart, a nice heart to it all. The idea of Willow's just a good person in a world that is messed up and corrupt. I guess it's no different than say Lord of the Rings and that sort of stuff. Just Frodo and all
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of like what the hobbits represent.
Yeah,
A small
exactly.
world in this bigger, more dangerous world, and
Yeah,
that prevails.
yeah.
Like I've always heard that Willow was just a result of Lucasfilm wanting to do The Hobbit, but they didn't have the rights.
Yeah. Well, either way, we'll get the chance to check it out this week. I'm excited to see what it's like and how it is and all that and how it fares
see,
up
like,
to the movie.
It lumps in with like what was that? What's that Tom Cruise movie?
Legend.
Legend.
right.
Yeah, but Willow is
Oh, Willow
more-
is different than Legend.
Willow-
Well,
Willow's,
I
yeah.
know they're different because they're different
Well,
movies,
but
but they all kind
To
of
me, it
lump.
just fits more in the world
Right.
of Lucasfilm
Right.
and Industrial Light and Magic, like Amblin would you like the Amblin Spielberg movies.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
the Amblin
It's-
Spielberg
it's-
version of all that whole like
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
it's a property that
never-ending story.
is
They all kind
not
of just
Star Wars, but you can tell whatever art
Yeah.
design and world and like
Yeah.
it's in the
Yeah.
same.
so
you
yeah,
know,
they all
correct,
kind of
yeah.
okay. I get it. They all
Yeah,
lump together to me for like Labyrinth and Never-ending Story and all that.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the
you're right.
time when
Yep.
we got a
Yeah.
lot of fantasy movies.
That's
so
it,
they
yeah,
do have.
And granted,
like
some of
Superman.
them were really bad too. I mean, at the time in the '80s, some of them were decent and fun
My
for the
favorite.
technology that they had.
Troll
to work with.
2? What about Troll 2?
I never saw that. That's
My
more horror.
favorite's Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian. oh, yes.
Beastmaster.
I saw that at way too young of an age.
Beastmaster 2, it scared the crap out of me. Whatever the glowing blood. I just remember some glowing blood and some crazy
Mhm.
crap.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah. Other movies. They dropped a list of some of the movies coming up for next year, guys. Check this out. So we've got Dune Part 2, Indiana Jones 5, Across the Spider-Verse, which I'm so excited to see. Oppenheimer, which looks good. That's done by
Isn't that?
Christopher
yeah,
Nolan.
Christopher
Oh,
Nolan.
no.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like Cillian Murphy's gonna be playing Oppenheimer.
Yeah, which is
That's a
cool.
good list.
He played the Riddler. Sorry, Riddler. I mean, he played
Hey, the Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Thank you. Yes, in the first Batman.
It's a great list, but at the end, I just want to see the actual movie poster of the old Super Mario Brothers.
I saw
at
the
bottom.
I saw the trailer for the Super Mario Brothers on the theater for the first time the other day. It looks
It
fun.
doesn't look bad, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying it's the old movie poster at the bottom
With
of the
Bob
list.
Hoskins.
Oh, really?
The bottom of
And,
this list would be funny.
And John
Oh
Leguizamo.
yeah.
Like it's just that
Yeah.
old poster.
Yeah. Guardians
Re-releasing it
3,
in theaters. It's
Mission
20th anniversary.
Impossible. Yeah. And there's some good films coming out next year. I mean,
Mission
it's gonna be
Impossible.
hype.
Who's directing that one?
I'm not too sure. Who's doing number 7? I think it is. But anyway, yeah. Just saw that list. It was kind of cool.
I gotta catch up on my
No.
Mission Impossibles.
Now, this I dropped last week because I was showing Max, and I've shown Elijah, but I wanted to get your opinion, Jason. This is the Back to the Future line of merchandising that has been publicly done by Michael J. Fox and
The Michael J. Fox
yeah,
Foundation.
Foundation. Yeah, I think it is the Foundation, is it? Yeah,
I think so.
and Doc Brown himself, Christopher Lloyd. And these are the kind of the different pieces they're putting out.
Uh,
I don't know.
not the best
I like that
merchandise
it's
in the
going
world.
to his foundation. That's probably what it got going for it. But like, I see a lot more merch made by fans that are
Right.
way better than a lot of this stuff.
This is exactly what I
yeah.
Someone like the merch out there,
Yeah.
like nerd merch.
Yeah.
The best ones are all made by fans.
Yeah. No, I agree. Some of this stuff is like just I wouldn't buy it to wear on a T-shirt or something like that.
You gonna pick some of that stuff up, Elijah?
No,
You're like the biggest Back to the Future fan I know.
Yeah.
I'm very picky. I mean, I think the merchandise part of
this
it
is straight from Michael J. Fox, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's an official. This is, if
Yeah,
anything,
this is
this,
the
is, more-
official
this is
brand.
official
Anything, I
stuff.
would just donate to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. And not
There you
make
go.
one of those
Well, you
things.
might as well get like a Marty McFly vest.
poster that I'm not a vest with his signature on it that I'm not going to wear. That
I'm surprised there's not a
cut
Calvin
like
Klein Calvin
this is-
Klein underwear.
it's just like a totally like overly produced jacket that you can buy like that and stitch it. It's like
Right,
you can tell
right.
it's cheap.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
You're right. You're right. It's just a pity.
But yeah, it's
I think they
weird that
should've
they
went a
did
little
all that, and
deeper.
they couldn't have took from all these great artists that do these prints, and
Yep.
you know, like they would
They
have
should have worked with
appreciated.
fans a lot more.
Yeah, like it's so crazy that like
Right.
these, you know, Christopher Lloyd, they all go to Comic Cons all the time.
Mhm.
They're always signing stuff.
Yeah.
They should
He's
have
a-
connections with some of these artists and like.
See,
Yeah.
when
Like, what's the deal?
stuff
Yeah.
like that happens, you get like confused on the whole like rights and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of tricky. on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And if you were to use fan stuff, you're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
either pay them
Yeah.
a
I guess
bunch.
that's some
Yeah.
up
But
the
instead,
scale,
like,
some lawyery thing
yeah.
that you can't do. You have to create your own stuff.
And to
Yeah.
kind of skip out on all that stuff, they just like do it themselves, or
Yeah,
like kind of just look at fan stuff and get inspired and just make their own versions of it.
Right,
And
right.
it kind of comes off as like kind of rip off.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, for sure. Anyway, let's move on.
Enough
As I
trashing on Back to the Future, Judge.
said- yeah.
It's unfortunate.
It's just,
it's
but
nice.
it's weird when they just come back and like, all right, what are you just gonna cater to our nostalgia?
Yeah.
Like Disney, you missed the train, man.
Yeah.
Disney kind of killed that.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I'm just like, all right, just kick this dead horse.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
That was
man,
fun.
that was
Oh,
good stuff.
somebody's burping it up there.
Blech.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So, what did you guys think of the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special? Elijah, we did a reaction. You weren't there for that. What was your opinion, Elijah?
I loved it. It was fun. I loved how I loved that they worked in the animation at the beginning. It kind of looked.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
definitely looked like it was rotoscoped. Like have filmed people there, then they did the rotoscope on top of it to make it get
Right.
that old look. And
Well,
kind of
Peter's memory of that time period as well. when you
Yes,
think about it.
but
That's
still,
exactly it. Yeah.
still, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
they look
like
like might look like a Lord of the Rings
Lord of the
cartoon.
Rings,
Yeah.
like heavy metal, like
Mhm.
heavy metal, like
Yeah.
shorts and that type of thing. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Star Wars, holiday special had a different type of animation, but
Yeah.
like still in that vein.
Yeah.
But fun. It's a completely fun, just coming in
Yeah.
to Earth and going through all that stuff.
Yeah.
The montage of going through Hollywood Boulevard and
Yeah.
the GoBot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
I
thought
killed
you,
you, and
Yeah.
all mad at that was fun. And
it canonizes GoBots in the Marvel universe.
yeah, like
Jason was excited about that one.
the little things like that, like the Marvel properties, and
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone thought Drax was the god of war.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know you mentioned look at the bar, but as soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, it's got to be Yarvo's. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was thinking.
It's-
I'm like, well, thanks for. It's the first thing my mind went to.
Oh, really?
so-
Yeah.
yeah.
I missed. I didn't see it visually. It was Jason called it out. So
Okay,
I
yeah,
have to go
and
back
like as
rewatch.
soon as I saw, it, I'm like, oh, of course,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I
He,
did.
he incorporates
also funny
Dave in
'cause
everything he does. Huh?
Yeah, it's also
yeah.
funny because it's an actual bar, and they walk down as soon as they were walking down that
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
corner,
a real bar. They just changed the name.
I knew
of
that
it.
that's where they were going, and that's
Oh,
where
really?
the next scene was going to be in that bar because it's like
Gotcha.
a famous like bar
Right. Right.
nightclub.
And just for everybody out there in chat who don't realize, Yavo is the director who all of us know and have worked with before. He's done
did
music videos
Brightburn.
and he directed the film Brightburn, but he's also a good friend of James Gunn, and he directed the Guardians of the Galaxy music video.
He was an old camp goer at the
and-
camp that Brent used to work
Yeah.
at.
So Yavo was named out and called out as a bar location,
in
which was
universe bar location.
exactly in Guardians of the Galaxy.
On
he
Earth.
was a Ravager in the first Guardians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
anyway.
actually, Nebula throws him out of his spaceship in the first
Yes,
Guardians.
yes. Towards the end there, when they're
You know what's
facing off.
weird? Like we worked with him, and then like as I was watching the first Guardians, I
Yeah.
was like, "Why does that guy look so familiar?
Oh,
Did you see him in
that's
something?"
funny.
I was like, "Oh crap, that's Yarvo."
Yavo,
And I think he shot that just after we were done, like
Mhm.
right. And
So he had
shot
the
that
same,
just
like,
after
hair
we
and
were
they did
done.
some they did some pickup shots
like
back.
weeks after we were done
Yeah.
filming.
Yeah.
They did pick up shots here in LA apparently, so they got to shoot some of that here, so
Fun.
which is cool. But yeah, I thought the film was fun. Sorry, the mini movie was fun. It had a lot
Kevin
of
Bacon
heart.
part, all the Kevin
Well,
Bacon stuff was fun.
That was fun, but then it really had a lot of heart because it really did this great tie-in to Mantis being the half sister of
Right.
Peter Quill, which is actually kind of I was like, did I miss something when we were watching it, like the live reaction? I was like, Jason, did we miss something? What's going on? Was there any connection that?
Well, when she explains
She
who
just-
she is, she
yeah.
says that he found her.
Yeah, right, gotcha.
So like that kind of negates any speculation that.
But the
she is
conversation
daughter.
that she has had with Drax, did she have a conversation about this with Drax at any point? Or was
Very-
this just
in the beginning of the episode, she's like, because he's my brother, and like I want to show him a good,
Mhm. Yeah, she
Right.
mentions it in the
Yeah.
beginning of the special.
the beginning of the special? Okay, right.
yeah. You missed that?
No, I caught that. But it sounded like when she was talking to Drax that she talked about it before this series. I
No,
misinterpreted.
that's
I
what I
don't
said.
remember that either, unless it's a reference to something
In
I
the
don't remember in one of the previous
Yeah.
movies.
no, that's what I said. Like when she tells them, she says that he was found by him
Right.
and that he adopted her. And
Gotcha.
so that she
Okay.
found him when she was like a little girl
Right,
and kind of
right,
raised
right.
him.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
kind of negates any type of speculation that we had that they could be related. But
Right.
then
Gotcha. Yeah.
I guess she just figures it out or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
or just kind of hid it from
Yeah.
them,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
But like it's I think Guardians of all the Marvel films always had a lot of heart.
Oh,
It kind of
absolutely.
just like
Oh,
continued
yeah.
that feeling,
Absolutely.
and yeah, my thing that I really liked about it is like my favorite parts of the Marvel universe are those little downtime moments, like when they're trying to lift Thor's hammer. It's just
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
all hanging
Yeah.
out,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
and then it was nice to just see a glimpse of the Guardians, the
Mm-hmm.
story that has like low stakes and like the
Right.
world is not at risk of
Yes. Yeah.
ending
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You know, it's
Yeah.
just seeing them in their downtime and them having
Yeah.
fun and
Um,
just kind of
yeah.
relaxing. It's not like, life or death situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that was great. Seeing
Yeah.
the dynamic between Mantis and Drax kind of develop from her being more passive and a lot more aggressive with him and
Yes.
being fed
Yeah.
up with
Yeah.
his shit. I thought was a
Yeah.
nice little character growth for her.
Yeah, it was definitely cool. I mean, there's, it's going to be fun to see the revelations going forward into Guardians 3 and
I
see if
got
any of that plays off of
I
in the
got
future.
I got so verklempt. It was like a true Christmas story.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it
I
was.
felt all
Yeah.
warm and
Yeah.
fuzzy inside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like what a good Christmas story should do.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Totally.
that's been a while
Yeah.
since
And
I
it's also
felt that from a Christmas
Yeah,
special,
yeah, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let alone a Marvel special,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I feel warm and fuzzy from a lot of Marvel stuff, but
For
like
sure.
for a Christmas thing,
Right. Yeah.
to feel that was great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Because
felt like a kid again.
I didn't expect that because that was the very last bit of the drop when she, reveals that she's half sister to Peter Quill. It was just such a great little moment. It was like, okay, that made the whole that made this whole fun silliness worth that pure heart that came from it. We also got to see Groot, who is no longer a baby and no longer a teenager. He's like a young 20s buff Groot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got all thick.
Well, I don't thick or buff. I mean, I don't know. It's like there's this
Well,
weird
thick
in
and
between.
thin, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's all wide now.
Yeah.
It's like he looks like he's like a guy in a suit, right?
That was apparently
He's like
the
a
big
football
criticism.
player. Like he's like in
Yeah.
high
you could-
school, college football or whatever. He's just wearing his like.
This current Groot design could translate like easy to like a costume at
Right.
Disneyland.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
or a
yeah.
I see.
costume at Disneyland
Like
or
you
cosplay.
look at the older Groot and he's like so lanky.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to fit
You'd
like
have
a
to
human in
have the
there
body
unless
part.
you're Doug Jones.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it's like Elijah says, like football or hockey pads.
Right.
Hockey pads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think. Do you think was he a suit and they just kind of like animated some of it? Or,
I
like,
don't know.
touched it up?
There was some stuff. It's very hard to
Seen any
see.
BTS on it.
It would be weird if they didn't CG him, but
Yeah,
it's
I
hard
think
to
it
tell
would be
these
like
days.
a combination of both, where it's a cap,
Possibly.
suit, cap, like
Speaking
they wear like a.
speaking of Groot, one of my favorite moments in
Yeah.
it was when Groot was giving his gifts of his
Yeah.
paper mache little diorama.
Oh yes, yes.
And then you get to like Kraglin, and it's like this infinity worm.
Yeah, it's like
where he's holding
yeah,
himself.
hold himself. It's like what? That was
Like when
funny.
you point a camera to the TV.
Yeah, yeah. It just goes back to infinity. It was the statue. That was cute.
Does that still happen? Does that still work?
Yeah, it kind of
Yeah,
does.
look, see.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's yep. But
Yeah, that was. Oh man,
yeah,
I
that
watched
was
it
cute.
again, and it
Yeah.
cracks me up every time. I love
Yeah.
that stuff.
It was fun. And then Kevin Bacon is canon. Or he's canon.
Mhm.
He continues to be canon because he's live
Yeah,
action.
he was canon from the beginning.
Yeah, from the beginning. But it was fun. It seemed to. I mean, it was he worked with James in the film Super for the first
right.
time. They obviously got along with each other.
He's the reason our Bacon number is 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he worked
yeah.
with Sean Gunn was in that film, and we worked with
Yeah.
Sean Gunn on Yarvo's thing.
Yeah, well, as well as James. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we worked with James Gunn too.
Directly. Yeah. He was on the set, so it was like, yeah. So
Still
ultimately,
kept
it's like
our bacon number remained the same though.
our bacon run up the six,
It's just
and we are referring, by the way, for those who don't know, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, which is a game where how many people do you know that you would be connected
What
to?
was that from VH1 or
I don't know.
It was a board game.
It's been around for like 20 something
It
plus
was a
years.
phrase and then turned into a board game. I mean, that's what I
Where
It was
did
a
the
board
phrase
game of it.
start?
Wow.
Yeah. That's
Board
what I
game
thought.
on, there's a board game on everything these days.
Yeah. But yeah,
But like I think I remember seeing in pop-up video or something like that. I forgot
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
There, I remember Cartoon Network at the golden age of Cartoon Network. They did that with Velma.
Oh, really?
6 Degrees of Velma, and they connect cartoons to that. And a lot of the times it would just end up being any type of Hanna-Barbera that would connect to Jabberjaw.
Yeah.
That with a character that looked like Shaggy, who is also referenced to Shaggy in Scooby-Doo, which is connected to Velma. It was funny.
Right. That's funny.
Which since the dissolve of Cartoon Network, I think a lot of their good classic stuff that was made specifically for Cartoon Network got released on YouTube. So you can see the Scooby-Doo Blair Witch Project parody is available on YouTube now.
Okay.
Which is good stuff, which is a lost generation of Cartoon Network.
The only Scooby-Doo ones that I care about that aren't available are Scooby-Doo movies, which were like, where like the Harlem Globetrotters and like the Batman one and the
speaking of which, this is the relevance
celebrities, like that series, like that's not available anywhere.
Yeah, I hated Scrappy.
I like the ones when it's celebrities. I thought that was cool.
But what's funny about that is that James Gunn wrote the first Scooby-Doo movie with live action.
He wrote 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah,
he scripted them. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's the 6 Degrees of Velma and Kevin Bacon. But just connected Kevin Bacon to Velma within 6 degrees.
That's funny.
Oh man, Velma's a 2. Her Bacon number is 2, and so is Kevin Bacon for his Velma number.
Yep.
Interesting. Wow. You're hearing it here first, guys.
Jason's mind blown over this one, it seems.
I mean, I'm surprised you guys aren't.
No, not really. Either way. So, yeah. Andor. Let's jump into Andor for a bit. Season finale. What did you guys think?
It's a masterpiece.
Yeah, this is a pretty dang good series.
I feel like there's a version of Andor with where Marva's hologram says "fuck the Empire."
Possibly.
When she's up there, she's like, "Fight these bastards." Which, I mean, Andor is the first Star Wars where there's swearing.
Yeah. Like Earthbound swearing too, because we're talking about like every time.
We're not talking about like dank ferret.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Did they? I missed some
first,
of that. What were they saying? Were they
it
saying
was the first arc. It was the Cyril's buddy, the old commissioner from Gotham. He says shit when they're getting ambushed by and like their speeder explodes.
Yeah. I mean, end of the day, it was.
That's a real world, and in Star Wars world, it means I'm going down. Shit.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it was a very solid episode. I mean, it really kind of paid the build up as well over the course to where this first real, this particular version of the rebellion forms from this planet. And the idea is that this is happening all over the galaxy. Each planet, whether it's Lothal from Rebels or whether it's other worlds, are starting to revolt against it, against the Empire, and we see this.
It was a slow burn.
Yeah,
for like even like everything about Ferrex kind of like adds to the building of a rebellion
and a greater rebellion. Yes, greater connection.
The kind of unified world that it is, and the town that it is. Everything from like the gloves hanging. Yeah. On the wall, just to kind of this blue collar town to the ceremony of people being turned into bricks.
Yeah, which was a really awesome thing that I can't remember this guy's name, but he used
Basso.
He used Martha's Marta's brick to smack an Imperial guard,
Yeah.
and just like several of them, it was like, okay, she would have wanted it that way. So
I like the combination of Basso and
Yeah.
B2 Emo.
Yeah.
They're just both equally adorable
yeah,
to me.
yeah,
But yeah, it's like the Ferrex is just kind of it kind of just represents what the foundations of a rebellion is, just the
Right.
way that town lives and the way it's
Yeah.
built, even everything from the bricks kind of building on each other's legacies to kind
Yeah.
of work in what ultimately becomes this rebellion that will
Yeah.
ultimately lead to the destruction of the Death Star.
Right.
It's just people are dying and they're lifting other people up. I'd say an ongoing theme
Yeah.
to Andor is the phrase "climb."
yeah,
Even mentioned, yelled by which is Nemec as he's dying and they're escaping Aldhani, up
Yeah.
to like everything down to K2SO telling Andor to climb.
Yeah.
Like all of it just adds together. Tony Gilroy's like his seamless writing has kind of just all contributed to this rise of the rebellion.
I am curious as to what they're going to do and how the idea of Ferrex is going to play out after this point in time. Because obviously they're going to move over to their 3-story arcs at season 2 a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, and right up to the events right before Rogue One. So I doubt we'll find out too much more about Ferrex, but in the past, especially say from Star Wars Rebels, the Empire just didn't see it profitable or marginable for going back to a planet that was going to war up against them, unless they went back for a mass destruction situation. So I got a feeling
was to build the Death Star and just destroy
right,
whatever.
But I'm saying the Imperials that are
rise up
down
against
there,
them.
the Empire that was there probably just walks away from that planet and leaves them, unless they decide
got their
to,
asses handed to them.
Well, they could too. That's the thing. It's like there's 2 ways that particular element could go. The Empire could come back at full force with Star Destroyers and just blow the crap out of the buildings, or they could Or they could just be like, this is not worth bothering ourselves over, and move on.
But this is the small acts, It's like this is what Andor has been saying through the whole thing. They're kind of just their kind of reliance on their power is what's going to be their demise.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of risks.
Yeah, you know what? It brings Star Wars, like in my opinion, it brings Star Wars down to its like true soul ever since Disney bought them, because it's always Star Wars has always been a reflection on like what's happening, like with the first one being reference to like Vietnam and stuff like that, and like like the second in the prequels was even references to the Bush administration. I think down to Anakin saying you're either with me or you're my enemy. It's like literal words that the president said. And like ever since Disney has consumed Star Wars, it's been nothing but like, I don't know, like fan service and nostalgia mining. But to see it come back to like something and build a show that is anti-fascist, anti-capitalist, anti-imperial, and dare I say anti-Filoni. Well, it brings it back to this like true heart of what Star Wars was built on.
But you also say that is a bad thing. Star Wars was always targeted for children, and
I know
this show is not. This is targeted
when
for
we were
adult.
children, and like we are still,
and there are still children that your child is going to love the children aspect films when he's old enough.
They still have that. We haven't. We can watch any other thing.
We've got this great.
That.
Yeah,
but I feel like what we needed and what like original fans need is something like Andor to kind of bring it back to what Star Wars was. It's for children, and it needs to make money, and so, but like to be something inspiring, just to be a good show without having to risk that. I think is great, and I think this is a nice break from all the countless shows that are totally aimed for children. Maybe Andor might not be for 12-year-olds. But then there's like a whole lot of other things that are.
Yes. Correct. Yeah.
So I mean that I wouldn't let that get in the way of enjoying this show because
Right,
like
right.
it's something that the Star Wars franchise needed. I mean,
Yes, yeah.
it probably will struggle, but then that's just what we have to deal with something that's a really good show, you know?
Right.
Like we saw this happen with what's it called? Young Justice. Just was so too grown up for a lot of people that
Yeah, yeah.
it kind of failed at like being a mass
It
appeal because of that, you
it
know?
failed because it didn't sell on the toy market. Is the
Yeah,
thing.
that's what
Yeah,
I mean.
yeah. But as
Like you,
for
you think of all the toys that you could have from Andor, like maybe some cool spaceships, maybe, or you want
yeah,
like a Sarsgaard
yeah.
figurine, or like
There's yeah,
G2
there's
Emo was like,
yeah,
there's not much
yeah.
really.
No,
You get
you're
like
right. Yeah.
have
There,
a
there,
Andy Serkis
yeah.
action figure in prison clothing.
There'll
What
be
do you
there'll be people out there buying it, but probably not the kids. That's the thing. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. You're right. You bring up a good point. As it's going to be interesting to see what merchandising goes out for this particular series, since it was more targeted at adults. And we'll get some stuff. Obviously, people are gonna, I know I'm gonna want to get Luthen's ship. Like if they build a model of that, I want a model of that ship so badly. I think it's
Yeah.
a great design.
But say
And
like it didn't
but
but something like Andor
yeah,
just didn't get in the it didn't get in the way of its
right.
storytelling, you know?
No,
A
no,
lot
no,
of
you're
the
right.
times like
Yeah,
this is probably the other side of the spectrum would be, Book of Boba Fett, which
yeah,
kind of fell victim to just like a just mining fan service. That show was all fan service and it suffered for it. Whereas like Andor was built from like just trying to make a good show. It's a good
right.
show on its own without even having to be a Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
You know, you take out the
Let's
Star Wars elements, it still would have been a good show.
yeah. Let's flip the coin on the characters for a second here and talk about Jennifer O'Reilly as Mon Mothma. I loved her so much. I thought, like, I love the development of this character, and this is a character that we have seen a lot more of via the other shows and animated
We had
series.
little moments of grounding it to like the
Yeah,
overall storytelling,
yeah,
and I
yeah,
think to give it
yeah.
to her was great because
Right,
she always
agreed.
seemed kind of like out of place among all these roughnecks,
Yes, yeah, yeah,
and they kind of worked with that, how
yeah.
she's like
The
kind of
uncomfortableness of what she has to do and how she has to
yeah.
live her
And someone like
life.
her would be totally like funding them financially,
Oh yeah, yeah,
which a lot of
yeah,
rebellions and revolutions
yeah,
need. They need that element of the bourgeois to help fund the fight.
yeah. But
And
then
I
you
think they
also
did
talk
that right.
about her sacrifices and what she never wanted to do, and passing off the daughter to be,
And you know what? I
to
had
be,
issues with like her. It's like, is she really gonna give up her daughter? But they
yeah,
really wrote it in where she had no choice, and
choice,
that's what I
yeah,
wanted.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I was like, all right, if she's gonna sacrifice her, give up her daughter for this
yeah,
cause, they
yeah,
better be trapped into it,
yeah, yeah. No, totally,
Mom, the big mama.
yeah.
When's she gonna turn into Mothra? Is that
What?
Mon Mothra.
that
What?
transformation gonna happen in the second season?
The
We'll
end of the
see.
third season of Rebels is when she officially breaks away from Coruscant and the Senate and everything. So I think we will see that by around about midway through season 2. We'll see that transformation
Yeah.
because they do mention it that the what was the name of the planet that was being problematic. There was a planet that was giving them it was becoming problematic, that was breaking away, and she was
Oh
talking
yeah, the
about
one
it.
she was talking about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I completely forgot the name off the top of my head, but it also comes up in comment in Rebels too. Goma, the Goma or
Yeah,
Goma,
Gomar or
Goma,
whatever.
Goma, yeah.
Gorman.
Gorman, that's it. Yeah, Gorman.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it is actually. Yeah.
This is the town that's on the
Gorman's a
off of
town
the
you
Yeah,
flag.
gotta
yeah.
have before you go to Vegas.
Oh, really? Okay, but anyway, Gorman it was the situation that eventually drives her and the remaining, people who drive towards the rebellion into that situation, and so they had these early stages of it now, 3 years prior to it happening. by about 2 years before A New Hope kind of thing. So it's cool that they've kept reference to that.
Mhm.
And it's, there has to be a certain amount of grounding with real places and
They
other
they've
worlds and
reached
other things.
they hit their quota, but like, with minimally,
Hmm.
which isn't required to make good Star Wars.
Right.
Like, yes, there's like little references here and there,
There
and
has
like
to be, though.
the
Otherwise, it won't
moment,
feel like the same world otherwise.
yeah, but you could they reach the bare minimum, is
Oh,
what I'm
for sure.
saying.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Most
if
people
there
who never watch Rebels
and
would
if
never know
there
what that planet's all
is
about.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then you if you watch Andor and only Andor of anything, it'll still be compelling.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And like
Yeah.
like the one, and their use of the references, like,
Yeah.
say the one time you see blue milk is kind of being fed to him by his mom. It's kind of used as torture in a way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like that is kind of how I feel about all these references. It's kind of like agonizing almost when you see it overused.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I feel like Andor really breaks away from that and brings it down to the meat and potatoes of what makes Star Wars great is kind of a reflection on like the problems of the world today. And
Right.
yeah, I did bring up like what the prequels and all that reference to. And when you look at the new trilogy, what are they? What bigger picture are they referencing here?
Right. Yeah.
Andor does that by
Yeah.
bringing up the anti-fascists, anti-capitalists in this world we live in right now. They were literally working in an Apple or Tesla factory in that prison. That is how
Yeah.
they make stuff now, and that is a result of capitalism.
Yes. Yeah.
And like seeing all the it's a thorough critique on so many interlocking systems of control that we live in today.
Yeah.
And that's what rings true. That's what rings so hard with Andor for me. And I
Right.
feel like that is missing a lot in a lot of Star Wars that we've been getting since Disney
Right.
bought. And I think this is a new era and ushering a new era of what Star Wars should come back to, of that world critique of that it's always been.
Well,
Instead of like, Mandalorian was around the time of the least political stuff going on. It was the
Right.
fall of the Empire, and it was pretty much just kind of outside of all that political stuff.
Yeah.
But like, this is what we need.
Yeah. Well, the other show that's being shot right now, The Acolyte, I don't know how the showrunner is going to take the direction of it because it will be based around the Sith, which is a story we haven't seen yet either. So it's been shot in England, so hopefully the production quality, I'm assuming, will be at the same level as Andor.
I know.
And
Hopefully, this will
and the
make
drama
me.
of it. Yeah.
Hopefully, this will make me enjoy Jedi's again, because they've
Fair
always
enough.
kind of been boring.
Who knows? You might start to enjoy the Sith after this one. We'll see.
No, I think the Sith are a lot more compelling than the Jedi.
Yeah, that's what I
honestly.
mean. I think they're going to be
Especially
an
with after
interesting.
the Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
That was cool to see
Oh,
Count Dooku's
you still haven't seen the
story.
small occasional stories that they've done on Count Dooku in the animated series of the Clone Wars. They
Mm-hmm.
did some great little, the occasional stories that were just based around Dooku and his beliefs and how he uses the Force and everything like that.
I know. I really
There's
should
some-
finish Clone Wars.
You really should.
I've
Yeah, we
seen,
should
some
watch
of
it
but
together. Yeah, we should. It's
yeah.
Yep.
We'll see. You'd
need
have to. Yeah, if we could
Yeah.
do like a. When's the next downtime? I'm down to do some
Yeah.
watch throughs. I
Yeah.
just it's on my list, but it's just low on my list.
Fair enough. Cyril and Deidre should marry and have kids by season. Yeah, I kind of foresee there's going to be a little bit of passion going on.
That was
between
cool.
them.
Like,
Well,
she just didn't know how to control her emotions when she saw him.
yeah, I want to jump into that I want to jump into her for a little bit. I thought she was wonderful. She's up there with, again, another character you probably haven't seen in the Star Wars Rebels series called Governor Price. She's like a Imperial commander, and Deidre's got the exact same vibes that Price had for me.
I was watching this with Liz. I noticed that like Deidre always has a look on her face like she just smelt a fart.
Yes, she always looks like she's
Very-
constipated or something like that. But I think that's part of that. That's part of that, that
Stern.
that works for that character. Yeah,
like,
the sternness. Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
No, it's
and
perfect.
she
On edge.
doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't know how to handle
any shit.
any sort
See-
of connection to people
what
either.
was interesting about her
Mm.
was that she had her own personal fight, and so you kind of found yourself rooting for her
At
because
the
any
beginning, yeah,
it is like a woman in the workplace kind of
right,
just overcoming all of
yeah,
this like
yeah,
kind of people just like kind of bring her down.
yeah,
But then it's like, oh yeah, DJ, climb. But then you're
yeah,
like, oh wait, she's
yeah,
the bad guy. Holy
yeah.
crap.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think it's going to be great to see how they develop her into season 2 and how she moves forward in the coming years of their generation things. Because I've got a feeling most of these characters will be around. The key characters feel like they're going to be around at least till right to the end of this show. So
Mhm.
um,
Hopefully, I mean,
it
they
makes
think
sense.
hopefully they kind of bring a conclusion to what happened to Andor's sister.
Yeah,
Because we kind of forgot about that halfway through.
I see.
And it's like, oh,
I don't see.
oh
I don't
shit.
know. I think what Maeva specifically says, your sister died on the planet. She says that's, and I felt like that was the tie off. That was the end point. Her sister was killed by the Empire on the planet. There was no moving forward with that story. I don't
Mhm.
think there's a lost missing sister out there. There's no reason for it to be, and
Yeah. It was
that
just
that
like what
was
it was just a use for to kind of get things moving.
correct. Yeah,
Maybe we're
yeah,
kind of we're
yeah.
introduced to him like searching for that was like his big
Yeah,
deal.
no, that was the big deal
And
for
then he just
sure.
gets tied
Yeah,
up
yeah,
with all that stuff.
yeah. But at the same time, he does get a definitive answer from Maeva, and she says, "Your sister died with the rest of them."
I wouldn't say it's definitive. It was more of like, will you stop worrying about that? There's bigger things. But I
There
feel like
is,
it is
but
worth
it
it
was
is
the
worth going back
yeah,
to, is
yeah.
what I'm saying. And I
I
think that might there's a chance it might be addressed in the second season.
I don't think that will. I think that's it. I think it died with her saying what
Okay.
actually happened. Um,
I mean, it's
there's
just based on an interview that I saw with like Tony Gilroy and
oh really interesting. Okay, well, maybe you won't. I mean, who knows? We'll see. We'll
but I
see.
mean Brent said so, maybe not.
No, it just seems like. See, I haven't read that interview, but it just feels like
He's got the
it's an
feeling. He's
open
got
and
the
shut.
Brent feelings.
It's an
He's got
open and
the
shut situation.
feels a
Yeah,
disturbance in the
yeah.
forest. Oh, the bathroom's just down the hall.
Anyway, but yeah. What else? Luthen. We kind of we get to this point that Luthen realizes that Andor's worth more alive than dead, and it seems
And
like
Andor put it in his hands literally. He's like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
dude, I'm here,
Yeah, I
bro.
thought that was a ballsy kind
Shoot
of
me.
piece of moment. It was like
It
a great
shows
little
it. It
scene. Yeah,
shows his development. He's
yeah,
been radicalized.
yeah,
That's what this
yeah,
first season is.
yeah.
The radicalization of
Radicalization of
Andor.
Andor. Yeah,
He was kind of still one foot out the door,
hmm
and then being in prison
yeah,
and seeing all that kind of just it radicalized him, and now he's galvanized into this rebellion, and he's in.
yeah,
He's always kind of been half out of it,
yeah,
and it's kind of like when in Rogue One he kind of references, he's like, I've been with this fight ever since I was 12 years
yeah,
old, he
yeah.
says.
The
But
six.
not really, but I think
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah,
counting like
After I got out of
being
prison.
adopted
yeah, yeah,
by her,
yeah,
they were
yeah,
just like through association.
yeah,
He's kind of been involved,
yeah,
because his parents
yeah,
were rebellions, and then
yeah.
like the death of Clem kind of like
hmm
made him kind
Oh,
of
for
back
sure.
off a little bit. I'm sure
Yeah,
he was like gung ho up until then, and just realized, you know what, I just got to look
yeah,
out for himself.
yeah. But he was still only like localized to the planet he lived on at the time, I guess. So
Mhm. Yeah, he's at
it's
a point of no return.
yeah. That's definitely where it feels like, which is cool.
It's just,
Um,
yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the
yeah,
second season and how to
yeah,
keep this compelling. If he's like all the way in,
yeah,
you know, or just like introduction of newer characters,
yeah,
or
yeah. So, what were your guys' thoughts on our final post-credit scene, which showed what was being used, the parts that they
it
were
was
making?
satisfying seeing what it all
Uh
led
huh.
to, and it kind of
Yeah.
added to the tone
hmm
of kind of just how grim that was.
Yeah.
How people are dying to make these things to kill
Yeah.
more people.
Yeah. Yeah. And then on top of it, ultimately be the one thing that does kill Andor himself, or be
That's
connected,
true. At the end of
which
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Cassian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tragedy right there.
Yeah.
He's working on these things that would
Self-building.
contribute to his demise
hmm
as well.
Yeah.
But they've lit the fire.
There was a lot of people that were kind of like, including myself, saying, okay, yeah, there's a good chance it was being built for the Death Star, but we don't know if we really want it to be built for the Death Star, kind of stuff.
Nah, I knew it was. It had to be
we
for
kind
the
of
sake of the
the
story. You
bottom
thought
of,
it
yeah.
was for Tie
Oh,
Fighters.
well, I threw it out there, but my heart of
Just a piece
hearts
that
was
you look
this
like
was
what would
No.
that go to? You know?
Oh,
what
correct,
that
yeah.
It needed the poetry of that.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
These people were just
But
making stuff.
you consider
made
the
by the
fact
hands
that
of people.
Yeah, but you also consider the fact that that one little pod of prison cell was making just that one piece.
Yeah.
The pod next to them was making the next
something
piece
else.
or something else,
Yeah.
and that would all be
But
pieced
but
together.
looking at the scale,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's all they were making.
Could be. I mean, that's just only on that one planet. though.
That dish is the
Yeah.
size of like Ohio.
Correct,
So,
but
you're
another
gonna
group
need
would be
like
making
you're gonna need
sections
that
of.
whole planet.
Yeah.
Like there's probably another planet
Okay,
that's specializing on a
Jason,
different.
you are not thinking. You are thinking way too small. You're talking about galaxy wide at this point. Across the galaxy, there are prisons like this for alien races, for human races, for everybody, where they are doing this to them across the entire galaxy.
No, I know, but that's what I mean. Like on that planet,
So-
they're making that little thing, and on a different
Yeah.
planet, they're making like
Wherever
a
they
whole
can
other
source
thing.
materials, they're
That's what I
using
mean.
that planet
Yeah.
for
And
I
the
feel like
materials and forcing people to
what
save labor and
what explains that there's only humans there is probably because those are the type of tools they had that only human hands can use.
Yeah, you could say that as part
And
of
there's
it.
like, it's like
That-
any other alien fingers would be fumbling over
Yeah.
like these things that are strictly
Yeah.
made for
Which-
like humans
yeah,
and stuff.
But
Well, the controls in the Death Star are all made for humans, and any Imperial tech,
Yeah.
probably just all made for humans.
at the end of the day, that was my one kind of my bigger thing was that there was a lack of more alien elements that we see from every
same
other Star
amount of-
Wars.
It was like the same amount from you'd see in the first Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess, but not really. I mean, you would
It was
still
mostly
see,
humans, dude.
and
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers, but then droids as well. So you'd see a lot of droids as
We
background
saw a lot of
and stuff
droids.
like that.
We
There's a
got
lot
that
of
little
droids.
droid guy in there a bunch.
Yeah. Or across the whole show, across the entire, because there was
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times where we just didn't get anything but human elements to them, and it just seemed like that was all background and less.
Which Star Wars
foreground.
tends to make it,
They do,
Aliens
but
tend to be in the background.
Yeah,
than
but
anything, and all like the talking and main characters.
I mean, I do have to
Aside
say,
from Chewie,
yeah, I mean, I
are
do,
all humans.
Yeah.
Like look at the first Star Wars and the Rebels.
Yeah.
They're all humans, dude.
yeah, but
I didn't see one alien flying an X-wing. Not
Right.
until like the
Huh?
new prequel.
no, there was
In the first Star Wars?
yeah, well, Neenum flies the Millennium Falcon with Lando. There is actually
Yeah, but I'm talking about
other-
the first episode, episode
They-
1.
They did shoot
There's like
stuff. Yeah,
There's no
Oh,
aliens flying X-wings or in the rebellion, really.
right. You see them.
Chewie's
Return
the
Jedi.
only Chewie's the only
Yeah.
alien in that
Right.
rebel base on
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, we're going on a little over an hour at this point. I was going to say, what are your hopes of season 2? I guess of Andor. What are you hoping to see?
I was hoping it to be as good as this season.
Yep, that's all I'm hoping for. I mean,
And
we
I'm
got a
hoping
while
that
before that even shows up. So
I'm hoping it
Looking at
inspires Disney to do more shows like this.
Yeah,
Like just the tone and everything like that.
Right.
I don't know how, but I think
Yeah.
it's just
it's writing for
lightning in a bottle,
Asian
man.
audience that every
They gotta put
even-
it in the front page, man. You have to always
Mhm.
gotta like scroll through at least like 10 pages in before you
Right,
see
right.
Andor.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I want more.
Yep.
Yeah, more new worlds. I like that every
so
most.
true. One Small Worlds. Yeah.
There was a lot of like new planets we saw on this in this series. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
only old planet we saw was Coruscant, but
Yeah.
we got to see a part of Coruscant that looked a lot more dreary than what we're used to.
Well,
Like
again,
kind
it
of,
also shows that what happens when the Empire takes over their home
Yeah.
city. It's like the
But their use of like real locations and like
Right.
the brutalist architecture was
Oh yeah, no, this was great.
chef kiss.
Yeah.
Everything about this show was chef's kiss. It was a masterpiece. Best thing that Star Wars has made since Disney picked it up.
I missed a bit of the fun that goes on with Star Wars, but that's just me. So
Yeah. Well, if we're talking about like jokes and stuff, like I didn't
Watch
really
the
see. I
special
don't
edition of
remember.
the Jabba throne room scene, and then you
I
get
don't.
your animated.
well,
No, if we're talking
part
about if we're talking about humor, I don't remember seeing much humor in Tales of
well
the Jedi though.
the
Like I don't think there was one
yeah.
joke in that series at all.
No, but
Like that was
there
really
was,
grim
but
and
it was about there
serious.
was a lightheartedness for moments of the sequences that worked in that. Anyway,
Yeah, and
different
with
thing.
Andor
It's
too.
good. I mean,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is Andor's
Yeah.
perfect balance
Oh, yeah.
for the age that it's addressed
Yeah.
to. This is not
Yeah.
kids aren't watching
Yeah.
this, so it's,
Right, correct.
if
yeah,
a child, anyone under 10 years old, this is great
Yeah.
for anybody over 10 years old. Pretty much,
Bix,
in my opinion. It's like
Bix,
as long as you're
yeah.
old enough to like get some basic
Yeah.
ideas.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be that like family
So
friendly.
Bix needs rehab right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're going to pick up a year or so later, so I assume Bix will be kind of like still dealing with ordeals. But I mean, I feel like Bix is the kind of rebel that might join Saw Gerrera's group because
That'd
she's
be
been
cool.
pushed
She's
to
been
a very
radical-
dark.
She's been radicalized.
Yeah,
as well.
I feel like there's a dark element we're going to start seeing that Saw Gerrera's out there, and he is more radicalized than the rest of the rebellion at this point.
Ooh,
And we
and
know
one-
that through his future
one
dealings.
more thing I want to say overall, like about Andor, is that it flips the script on kind of this culture that we've built on reacting to Star Wars,
Right.
with its minimal Easter eggs, kind of like we kind of relied on that among
Right.
all of this Disney stuff, especially to the point of building this reactionary culture
Right.
to it.
They
So,
relied on
But
it. We didn't rely on it. They relied.
but I am going to add that it was cool that it was the art department was the specific ones who would throw in this little background
But
nods.
that's what
to
I
stuff.
mean by like the bare
How
minimum.
cool was that? Yeah,
At the bare minimum
Yep.
of fan service,
right.
is that it kind of flipped the script on a lot of.
See, I hate that
reactionary
word
videos.
fans. I hate the word fan service. I just
Yeah,
I
and
really
me
hate the words.
too, because like that's what Disney has relied on ever since they bought it.
See, I don't consider it fan service. I see it as the world as. It's no different than buying a car. You buy a car here or you buy a car in Japan.
I know,
it's
but
still a
this
vehicle of a
isn't the
different
real
make.
world. This is a built world, and
Correct,
you've got to
yeah.
admit that like
Yeah.
a lot of reliance on the Star Wars world that Disney has been making has just been the mining of the nostalgia, dude. Like look at the newer trilogy. A lot of it just kind of falls short because they rely too much on that.
I think the
Like
script is
J.J. Abrams
scripting is in
just
cases
relied on
was
just
the problem.
making it delightful and existing in this obvious Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And it kind of hurts to watch when you go back to him. And that's where Boba Fett failed, man. It was all that. You're pretty much just taking your Star Wars toys and making them fight each other in that show.
Yeah.
That's what that felt like to me. It's like, oh, you're gonna grab a Cad Bane from the Clone Wars, and then like put Boba Fett on my Rancor and make them fight. That's what it felt like, and I feel like it needs to be more than that. Star Wars is more than that, and it always has been. It's just kind of lost its way, and Andor has brought us back.
I don't know if it's lost its way because, as I said, it's still targeting at
See,
children.
they agree.
and-
You agree, right? See, I got a good point there.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I want to see more Saw Gerrera in this. Like a panther.
I love that.
But yeah,
that's what made Book of Boba Fett so much fun, though. I mean, there was fun elements.
Well, yeah, it was
and humor
memeable
in
for
it.
sure, but
Yeah,
it can only go so far.
Yeah, but still, anyway.
I feel like as time goes, it's not gonna echo in eternity that Andor, which is kind of is inspired by the real world,
Yeah,
and addressing issues that we live with.
yeah.
That hits a lot harder than just banging your toys together, man.
I want to add one last thing here that I forgot all about, that we're breaking from Andor specifically, but we just got Bob Iger back in charge of Disney for the next couple of years. I think one of the biggest problems that have been going on in the last, say, 2 years at least, and that's why Kenobi had some issues and why even shows like Book of Boba Fett may not have been as strong and all that, was that everything controlled within this area of of California and Los Angeles had a different person in charge who was more concerned about budgetary and was cutting budgets on all these shows, and not just Star Wars, but
I'm
Marvel
not
and
mad at
everything.
Brent. I'm mad at Star Wars.
So no, but I'm saying like it is good to have the
I
artist
read
element
somewhere-
of Bob Iger who understands the artists and the artwork, and the idea that the consumer, us, need to be happy
Right.
about what we're watching, and that was starting to lose the pace with a lot of what have been released recently. And I'm not just saying Star Wars, I'm also referring to Pixar. Pixar haven't done a very strong animated story because they haven't had the time and the money and the resources to content and spend time development
Yeah,
of
I
that for
read
a story.
I read somewhere that he was allocating funds to kind of cover up losses. And
Correct.
so
Yeah,
that kind
yeah.
of just resulted in all this
He
like
was trying to speed up the process of doing it too
Yeah.
quickly, too soon. And that's Bob
See, this is
Chapek.
what happens when you focus on the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
worry about
We're
that.
seeing it happening
And-
all over the place.
Yeah, and that's what Disney is.
I like the
Disney-
movie Soul. Soul is awesome.
Yeah, but I think that was also still under Bob Iger. I think still had control of Soul at the time when it got released.
Brent, you get their names all mixed up.
Yeah.
So you're literally
I-
talking
yeah.
about one of them, but you mean the other.
No, Bob. No, Soul came. When did Soul come out? It was 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was still under Bob
Eisner.
Iger. Sorry, Iger.
Because on
Eisner.
Wednesday you
I-
kept calling
Wow.
him Bob
Sorry.
Eisner.
Well, I was tired and I got back from work. It was like, yeah. Anyway, shut up. Yeah, I was very tired on your channel. I was extremely exhausted when I was speaking. So, but Iger is back, and it's. I think it'll be a relief to see because
I think it's Iger, right?
Iger, yeah, Iger, yes, yeah.
Eigner.
Igner, whatever. Igner.
Is this combination of Eisner?
Whatever. Anyway,
tired.
You're confusing him.
I think we are going to see a better development of stories and the money being put into the beginning where it belongs to make sure that the story is on the page there before it goes, properly into production. Of course, Kathleen Kennedy will survive. I'm hoping she'll survive because people are putting too much crap on Kathleen Kennedy.
I've been seeing a lot of based on Reddit, Star Wars Reddit. There's been a lot of lashback against Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni. I don't know what that's about.
I don't care. They are doing what they need to be doing, and they're doing
I
it
think,
under the pressure of circumstances.
We're doing a watch party for Willow, or we're doing a reaction.
We'll do a reaction. We're not going to do a watch party. Yeah.
Watch parties would be fun. We should do that would be fun, Brent.
You have to do
No,
that,
because
on YouTube,
because then I'll lose all focus of what's going on in chat and trying to watch what I'm trying to watch. I mean, I have trouble just listening to you guys
Oh
talking
no, just
in my head
on
when I'm watching.
on the original Willow, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, the original Willow. Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Some-
Well, that's what essentially we would be doing.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't want to edit down a 2-hour movie. So
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's
Oh,
fair
happy
enough. Yeah.
birthday!
Yeah.
it kind of have to be
Oh.
a party type of situation.
Be your birthday next week.
What day, Anchorman? What day's your birthday?
December, right in December.
Right in
1st,
December?
2nd?
Yeah.
We're all December's, or we're all coming up here.
Yeah.
Me,
yeah.
Brent, and Elijah are all Capricorns.
Capricorns. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Anyway, guys, I
It's
think
a headbutt contest during all these.
there you go.
things.
The 9th. That's cool.
May the 9th be with you.
Yep. Anyway, guys, I think we've gone long enough here, so let's end the stream. We will be doing a reaction to Willow this week, and then we'll determine whether we'll continue, how we're going to react to it and stuff like that in the future. We will have... Actually, what else is coming out? I guess that Willow's the last one for the year, and then we jump into the Bad Batch in January. So I don't know whether you guys will be interested in doing that, but Bad Batch will be conflicting at this point in time with both Willow and Mandalorian Season 3 when it comes out, because those episodes will cross.
Wait a minute, Mandalorian Season 3?
Yeah, this
When does that
February.
start?
February.
February?
Wow.
Bad Batch is 16.
Wow.
Bad Batch will be 16 weeks, and if that starts in January, it means that Willow is going to go into January. which will cross over into Bad Batch, and then Bad Batch will continue,
Yeah, I
but
forgot
then
all about
cross over
Mandalorian
into
season 3.
Mandalorian season 3. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you out there on chat. Please like and subscribe if you have not done so already. And thanks, Jason. Thanks, Elisha. And we will see you next week.
Long live Andor.
Bye bye.